Blessings. This lesson is know thy food. Now, part of being consciously aware is knowing what you consume and what is being presented in front of you to eat. When you start doing energy exercises, your empath skills will kick in and you will be able to pick up on things when you go shopping that other people might not be able to pick up on. Now, for me personally, when I started out and I started first doing energy exercises, all of these new abilities kicked in that I didn't know I had, okay, and I started unblocking them all. And one of the first things that first happened to me was my empath skills kicked in severely, okay, and when I say severely, I mean it was just turned on to the max. Now, I was able to pick up on and I still pick up on it, like homeless dogs, homeless people. I knew I could feel everything, I could see everything, and when I walked through a shopping center, I could even pick up on the meat. Okay, so you'll notice it too, and I always tend to run through the meat section because it feels like I'm in a kind of like when you walk through a meat section in a supermarket. It feels like you're in a hell realm. It's just like the vibration coming off the meat is just it's not a nice vibration to be around, death, so to speak, and dead meat. Okay, it's just that's just what happened to me. I was able to turn it down. Okay, so how you turn down your empath skills is you just ask divine creator source, hey, can you turn it down a little bit? I'm not really coping that well. Okay, one of the ways that I cope with it is walk around with a headset in my ears, and I was able to block out everything, all the vibrations that was coming in, and I wasn't able to pick up on certain things. So, but that also can work against you because I was able to look at tins of food and I started picking up like that this wasn't this was genetically modified. Like I'm connecting into my higher self, and my higher self's telling me, don't eat that, that's crap. Don't eat that, that one's crap as well. No, that's GMO. No, that's not organic, don't eat that. So just be aware that if you were in the headsets, you can't connect into your higher self that well, okay? Now, the cleaner your food is, the cleaner you will operate, okay? So if you're eating junk food all the time, like KFC, McDonald's, you won't operate as efficient as others that are eating healthy. So the best way I suggest to anyone is to grow your own food, do it yourself, okay, and not become dependent on supermarkets, and just minimize that as much as possible and just become independent. So you need to be aware of the following, okay? It's where to buy your seeds. Now you can get two types of seeds. You can get genetically modified seeds and you can get heirloom seeds. Now if it doesn't say heirloom or organic seeds on it, then you know they've been modified in some way, and I highly suggest you don't buy them at all. Try and find them from reputable like websites or people that you know that actually have organic products. One of the things that I like to do now is if I'm in a supermarket or down at that local farmers market on a Sunday where a lot of the organic like foods are, and you can talk to the farmers and know what they're putting on their crops and whatnot and how they grow them. I actually like to buy their food, and so say it's like a lemon or something, you use a lemon and then you collect the seeds, okay, and that's the best way to do it. You can collect the seeds from organic food that you know it's definitely organic, and you start growing them that way. That's the cheapest way to do it, okay, so you can start growing everything from seed. You should start growing stuff, okay, turn that TV off and start growing food, okay. Food is like printing money, okay. I can't stress that enough. You start growing your own food, okay, so then you don't have to become reliable on those supermarkets. Now, genetically modified seeds, okay, we all know who's dishing them out. I don't have to go into that one, but genetically modified seeds, you grow them, okay, or the farmers that are growing them, they can be genetically modified seed, but they can be bringing them up organically, and then they could just say, oh, hey, it's organic. So we don't really know truly whether or not it's a fully 100% organic product. Now, you know, in this world, there's nothing that's 100% organic. Okay, you could have organic seeds, and you'd be growing in the city, and then you've got pollution coming down, watering those seeds. It's not really organic. You know what I mean? But what you want to try and do is you want to try and minimize this as much as possible. Okay, so you want to try and get it as close to being organic as possible, and yeah, stay well away from genetically modified seeds or non-heirloom seeds. Okay, now pesticides and fertilizers. When we're bringing up the seeds, if you can find organic fertilizers and organic pesticides, by all means go for it. Okay, but if you think of it this way, like let's take an apple for an example. An apple's like a sponge. All food is like a sponge. Okay, so if you got an apple there and you're spraying pesticides onto it and chemical fertilizers, well, that apple's going to absorb the pesticides, it's going to absorb the chemical fertilizers, and then it's put into a supermarket, and then we eat it. Okay, we absorb everything that's in that apple. Okay, because we are like a sponge also. Now, up to 90% of the food in the supermarket is not real. You'll get that feeling. Like it's the feeling that you get when you walk into a supermarket. You know what's in the food. Okay, you've got additives, you've got preservatives. Okay, that stuff's not real. It's designed to make the food, yeah, last longer, but it's also designed to actually hurt us. Okay, it gives us cancer. It messes with our bodily functions. Okay, it's shortening our lifespan. That's what GMO does. Okay, there's even foods out there, and a lot of the genetically modified foods, it's designed to make you sterile. Okay, so we can't have kids, we can't give birth. It lowers our population, and that's what's going on. It's been World War III on our food source for a very, very long time. Now, getting back to the fertilizers and pesticides, try and find organic ones. Okay, now some farmers, they're going to have, you know, organic seeds, but they're using chemical fertilizer, but they're going to still say that it's organic food. So this is getting back to, you need to have a relationship with the farmer that's actually growing the products and actually know what they're using, which is why I always keep going back to suggesting grow it yourself. Then you know exactly what is on the food and what's in it, what's gone in it. Okay, genetically modified food. I've got the saying, if it's not organic, it's probably genetically modified. Okay, and it's not real, and you want to stay well away from it. Okay, one of the first genetically modified products that was brought out was soy. Okay, now soy was introduced, so all the vegetarians, basically they could start working on all the vegetarians and get it into people's minds, and when they do the marketing campaigns on the ads and the TV, that soy was good for you. Well, I can tell you 98% of the soy in the world is genetically modified. There's only like 2% left that's probably not. So, you know, if you can find organic soy, good luck. I mean, personally, I'm just not going to even bother drinking it, eating it, period. Okay, it's just not worth the risk. I cut out all soy. Since I cut out all soy out of everything that I eat, because I was a vegetarian for a long time, that, you know, I'm feeling absolutely great. There's one thing, I went vegetarian, and there was all this Chinese soy food that they had, and I was always eating this, you know, soy sausages or soy beef burgers or soy. I was trying to trick my mind into like, oh no, you're not eating meat anymore. And for a while it actually worked. But then I realized what soy was, and I had to pull back from this whole new like food range that I was eating, and only eating because I thought I was healthy for myself, but I was actually doing a stupid amount of damage, and I was completely unaware. So if you're a vegetarian and you're going through the vegetarian aisle and you're eating those soy products, stay away from it. Okay, be aware of that one as well. You've got free range food. Okay, now if you are a meat eater, okay, and look, don't get me wrong, if there is nothing around, okay, if there's no other food around and you got to survive, okay, then you eat meat. But if you have to, you eat free range meat. One of the things they do is and they do this in America a lot, is they put pink slime into it. So they'll inject it with this pink slime, and it makes the meat brighter. It keeps it like looking more fresh, but it actually makes it worse. Okay. Free range food, you know that it's brought up on a farm that hopefully doesn't feed their animals genetically modified foods. Okay. Hopefully it's grass fed. Okay. And then in saying that, if they're connected into the council water supply, then you know that water going on that grass is going to be fluorinated. It's like, how can you win? As long as but if you know it's coming from a farm, they got rainwater, then you're on a winner. Okay, so you know that the farm, like the free range food, it's going to be good. So just be aware of that one as well. Like free range, you got to make sure that the chickens and the cows are eating not genetically modified food. So you can have food in the supermarket, okay, and majority of the meat have been brought up on genetically modified food. So all the genetically modified food's gone into the meat. So you're eating GMO meat anyway. Okay, so be aware of that one. For me personally, okay, what I feel, and I've tried eating everything. I personally prefer to be a vegetarian. Okay, you feel better. Okay, like you can even test it too. Like I was a meat eater. Okay, I stopped. I went cold turkey, and for the first 2 weeks, I noticed I was running to the toilet all the time, and I was getting rid of all that excess weight, all that dead meat inside my stomach was coming out. Okay, once it was all out, man, I felt great. Okay, you lose 3 to 5 kilos in the first 2 weeks as soon as you switch to vegetarian, eating nuts, salads, organic salads. Okay, and I felt great. And then as soon as I eat like that ham and cheese sandwich toasty somewhere, all of a sudden my guts my stomach's just killing me, and I'm like rolling. I remember I was 6 months straight, I was vegetarian, and had an all-you-can-eat buffet. I was in a 5-star hotel bought for me, and I went nuts on everything. I didn't, went out the window, and I can tell you what, I'm never doing that again, because I wasn't rolling around on the hotel floor screaming in pain. It was that bad. I could not move for about an hour. It was really, really bad because the meat was just, it lowers your vibration dramatically. Okay. Now, another thing as well with vegetarians, you got vegans as well. Vegans is it's even a lot more cleaner and a lot more pure. But vegetarians, I'm just good with being vegetarian. It's really, really hard being a vegan. Really, really hard to find food, like a food source. So I'm traveling around a lot, so I try my best, but I try and just go vegetarian. Now, you've got 2 kinds of vegetarians too, okay, and a lot of people are not aware of this one. You've got organic vegetarians and non-organic vegetarians. What I mean is that the salads can be sprayed with pesticides or chemical fertilizers, okay, chemical pesticides, and you're eating salads, but you're absorbing all the chemical pesticides and chemical fertilizers. It's not cool. You need to make sure that you're eating organic salads, okay? Everything, tomatoes, broccoli, everything that I eat, cucumbers, I try and make sure it's always organic, always, okay? Because what's the point of being vegetarian if you're taking on chemicals and pesticides? You'll know, you'll be able to pick up and taste it. Like as soon as you eat it, you know that your stomach, you feel good on it, or sometimes you might not feel good on it. All your cells start clicking in once you start doing energy exercises. Like your cells, you start feeling more. Okay, you'll know what is good for you. Okay, it's a good side to it, and it's also a downside. Like you'll feel more when you're absorbing crap. Okay, and also just be aware, gluten-free is another. It's a scam. Okay, gluten-free is like a GMO scam. It's gluten-free, but we're going to put in all these preservatives and additives. Okay, so watch out for that. So when you on the back of your label as well, just if it's gluten-free, but read the rest of what's on the back of the food labels. If it's got additives and preservatives, I don't touch it. I don't go anywhere near it. Okay, it's got any of those numbers on it. Okay, don't go near it. You can't explain it, can't spell it, don't know what it is, don't eat it. Okay, so it's pretty simple. So yeah, I think that's covered everything for today, but yeah, I think I have. So yeah, in saying that, try and eat healthy, try and be aware of what's in front of you, what you're eating, and yeah, try and raise your vibration higher. Okay, stay away from dead meats as much as possible. But if you've got no other choice, eat free range. Okay, everyone's got free will, but you'll notice energy-wise, all your meridians start flowing. Your energy starts flowing a lot better, and you'll notice too. When I remember when I switched from being a meat eater to a vegetarian, all the animals started coming in. Okay, it's like they had a sense that they could pick up on whether or not I was eating, if I was absorbing dead meat, because to them I'm a threat. That makes sense. So as soon as I cut out all my meats, I got it out of my system, all the animals, the birds start coming in closer. You can connect in with more. So it does have its bonuses if you go to vegetarian. Okay, so that's all for today. Blessings. Thank you.